Oh no, it's recording. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Gabby Speaks. If you are new to my YouTube channel, I would like to just welcome you to my channel. I'm all about spreading positivity. I like to try to encourage people to improve, their overall self. And yeah, so hopefully you all get something out my channel. In this video today, I want to focus on wellness tips. But before I get into my topic, I just want to say I know it's been a hot minute since my subscribers have seen me, and I apologize. Life has been like just crazy busy. I'm now working 2 jobs and volunteer, so I kind of have a full plate these days. But nevertheless, I still want to, continue my YouTube journey. I want to say a big shout out to those of y'all that have been subscribed to me since January of this year. And shout out to my new subscribers. I really appreciate all the support, and I always hope that y'all get something out of watching my videos. This week at my local school, I've learned that it was Wellness Month, or Wellness Month is April. And so I was like, okay. So I was asked to do a presentation, about wellness. So I was like, you know what? This is a lot of good information. Like, I learned a lot of just the meaning of wellness, and just knowing that it's so many different moving parts that makes up, wellness. So today we're going to talk about 8 different dimensions. So hopefully I'm able to cover, it is a lot of information. So even if I don't, get past all 8, maybe I'll do part 2. I don't know. But I know that today is the last day of April. So I'm hoping to, just get everything covered dealing with wellness. But if I don't get to all of 8 dimensions, just know it'll be a part 2. So now I want to start off with what is the definition of wellness? According to the Global Wellness Institute, wellness is the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to a state of holistic health. Now, before I even, looked up the word wellness, my mind just thought that, okay, it's just dealing with the physical or your health wellness, but it actually entails a whole lot. So when we think about the body, how we have spiritual, emotional, mental, or intellectual, occupational, so many different parts that makes up who we are as a person. So wellness is an active thing. So we are, actively doing things to improve ourselves overall. And I want to try to go slow because I want this all to make sense, because it is a lot of information, but I definitely want you all to get a good understanding of what wellness is, because essentially I want everybody to hopefully have a takeaway, and just being able to do the work and see what different things that you can incorporate into your everyday living so that you can improve yourself. Like I said, there are 8 different dimensions of the wellness model. Believe it or not, some wellness models consisted of 12 dimensions. So for sake of time, I don't want to bore you to death. We're just going to focus on 8 dimensions. Okay, so the first dimension is the physical dimension. And what that entails is taking care of your body, or caring for your body, to stay healthy for now and the future. We're looking at good physical health habits. If y'all have been watching me since I started a while ago, I did a video about health and fitness tips. So some of this information you may already have heard before, but of course it don't hurt to hear it again, right? So what does physical health habits look like? Going to the doctor, getting those annuals, just keeping up with all of your doctor's appointments, making sure that we get sleep, good sleep at night. I've heard people say they get 3 to 4 hours of sleep. That's not good at all. It's recommended to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Now, sometimes I understand realistically you may not hit 9 hours every night just because you may have different things going on. But the key is just to try to rest your body and strive to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. We can create a routine that balances activity and inactivity that is manageable within our obligations and needs. So I know a lot of us have different roles. Like I said, I work 2 jobs. A lot of y'all are parents, grandparents, caregivers, just have a lot on your plate. But the key is you want to still take care of your body. So again, getting enough sleep at night and having that routine to where you're not, I guess, like doing too much to where you exhausted every day. So just kind of finding that balance. Going to a gym, or if you feel like, you know what, I want to work out at home, that's fine. Just turn on YouTube. There are very simple beginner workout videos that you can watch, learning how to do yoga or whatever works for you. I know everybody, we're not on the same level, and that's fine. Now, what I learned, I know some of us don't like to exercise. So what I would recommend is kind of starting off very small. Like, for example, you can do 15 to 20 minutes of workout just one day a week. Just start yourself out very small, because I'm telling you, if you try to go in strong and try to work out 6 days out of the week, you're probably not gonna, stick to it, because that can be very intimidating when you first starting to work out. Healthy eating, Lord have mercy. That's probably like the hardest thing I have had to do, is just trying to eat right. Somebody told me that when you incorporate, well, not somebody, but research say when you incorporate like more fruits and vegetables into your diet, that's supposed to be, you're giving your body what it needs, because we all have to have certain nutrients and things like that in order for our body to be up to par. I know some of us have to take medications, so being consistent with medications, if you take daily vitamins, multivitamins, that's always a good thing, because you're feeding your body what it needs. Like if you have a lack of, vitamin D, they have vitamin D out there that you can take, and it doesn't cost that much. Same thing with B12. If some of us, fall short on B12, we can take some B12 pills. Okay, so that's the thing with physical wellness. So I feel like I kind of threw a lot at y'all. I apologize, but I just get so excited. So just know that taking care of your body, to me, that's hard work. Because I feel like you have to be in the right mindset, to do that. You have to, but just know that you starting somewhere. Like I said, just going once a week to the gym, or turning on YouTube video just 1 week, doing one day out the week, 15-minute videos. That's a start, right? Okay. And I'm sorry, y'all, if I do talk a lot. I was told that I talk a lot, so I'm sorry. I just get so excited about this stuff. I am a social worker for a living, so I naturally do a lot of talking. The next dimension is intellectual. So this is keeping our brains active and our intellect expanding. You want to choose activities that broaden your perspective, because I know sometimes we can get complacent doing, what we at, just going from day to day. Because sometimes if you, have a routine, it's so easy to get kind of lackadaisical about things. But when you learn to expand your personal interests, like if you want to learn to do photography, or you may want to learn how to cook different dishes, or improving your computer skills. So it's so many different things out there, but the key is finding something that you take interest in. Oh God, is it crooked? Lord, okay. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, that's the key. You want to find something that's interesting to you. Some people like to go back to school, to further their education, and that's always a good thing, or taking a music class, or learning a different language. So all of these are just, awesome things that you can do to just exercise your brain. If you like, no, I ain't trying to go back to school because of my brain fried or I ain't got the money, that's fine. You can do brain exercises for free. So doing Sudoku puzzles. Now, me personally, I hate numbers. I don't fool with numbers like that. But some people like Sudoku, crossword puzzles, Wordle. I don't know if that's a new game, but I recently learned about Wordle. I took one look at it and I'm like, no, that's not for me. So I try to just stick to doing word search puzzles. I love it. I've been doing them since I was little. But just playing those brain games kind of help exercise your brain, because what you're doing is keeping your brain active, and some of this stuff require like critical thinking, and you really have to be focused. If y'all have like a debate team, or like if y'all have like city council meetings in your community, where it consists of talking about topics or, you know, things that you're interested in. So just kind of participating in stimulating conversations. That's the key. You want to try to engage in stimulating conversations. So joining a debate team, or like I say, sitting in on city council meetings, or whatever it is that you into. Just stimulate your brain. That's the key. So we should always want to exercise our brain, because just like any muscle, if you don't use it, you lose it. So you want to keep your brain sharp. Environmental wellness. This involves being able to stay safe and feel safe. We all want to feel safe, right? That means accessing clean water, food, and air. Now, thankfully, in South Georgia, where I live, we don't have to worry about, you know, what's the word? Contaminated water or anything like that, because sometimes these different countries you go to, like somewhere in the Caribbean, they don't sometimes have clean water. But thankfully we don't have that issue, and I feel bad for the people that don't have clean water, because that's I mean, it just really affect your way of living. Like what happened in the Flint, that's really sad. But we want to preserve the areas where we live, learn, and work. So that's why recycling is a big thing. Growing up, and my mama, she may watch this video, but I know she used to always recycle, and she still do. Like, she would have us loading up the bags with the we have to separate. I think we used to have to separate like the cardboard from the plastic bottles and all that. So even to this day, 30 odd years later, she still recycles. So shout out to the people that recycle. I just don't have the mindset for it, just being real. But I definitely see the importance of it. Volunteering to clean up trash. Where I live, they do have, like, I don't know what they call it. I hate to say trash day, but they do have a day where they go out, the community, you know, can go out and pick up trash. I know that may not sound, you know, the most appeasing thing, but think about it, it's necessary, because if we have trash everywhere, like, that's gonna affect our breathing, it's gonna affect our wildlife. So it's important to have a clean environment, a clean community. But if you ever feel like you want to challenge yourself, going and volunteering to pick up trash with the community, that's always a plus. Another thing that we can do to improve our environmental wellness is changing the scenery. So spending time outdoors. I know that's something that I kind of need to work on, because like I said, we get in the routine of going to work, coming back home. Sometimes, well, I don't know about y'all, when I get home, I'm tired. So, but spending time outdoors, like on the weekends, that's a start. Walking around, you know, your neighborhood, you know, just enjoying some fresh air, that's always a good thing. For those of y'all that have gardens, y'all are naturally outside because you have to water the garden and tend to the garden. Walking around the block, playing tennis, basketball, going swimming. And as far as your home and work environment, you want to organize your area. That's something, that's a work in progress for me. Going through your mail to get rid of clutter. And we all know that, shoot, I know I get mail like every week or whatever. So just going through your mail and getting rid of the junk mail, that kind of help you have more space, in your house or your workspace. So just know that that can be something to work on, just keeping your area organized. And I know all of this is a process, so nothing happens overnight. All right, so those are just ways to help with our environmental wellness. Now we're moving on to spiritual wellness. The spiritual aspect represents one's beliefs and values, and it involves having purpose and meaning and a sense of peace. I feel like that's like a loaded sentence right there. But I understand that we all don't have the same beliefs. We don't have the same values. That is fine. I'm not here to persuade you, to each his own. But the key thing, though, is having a sense of purpose. I think that's really important because we are all here for a reason. We all have a purpose. It's just that some of us have not yet found our purpose yet. But I just want to encourage you to just kind of continue to explore, and one day it'll hopefully come to you. Pray about it. I feel like everybody deserves a sense of peace, because in a world of chaos, you got to have a sense of peace and able to move past your trials or hard times. So recognizing our search for meaning and purpose in human existence, so I kind of already talked about that. Developing an appreciation for life and the natural forces that exist in the environment, in the universe. So yeah, we definitely, should have an appreciation for life, because the more older I get, the more I ain't gonna say learn, but the more it resonates with me that this life is so much bigger than me. Like, for example, the work I do, I'm a social worker, but it's so much bigger, than me. Because it's really, life isn't necessarily about you, right? And so our spirituality kind of deal with you being connected to something that's greater than you. So here are some tips that we can do just to improve our spiritual wellness. You can read about other types of beliefs to help you become more understanding or accepting and being open-minded. You can share your beliefs and values and principles with others. Now, I remember being in undergrad school, and during this time, I was just kind of like in a box, with my spirituality. And I just felt like, my spirituality was just superior to anybody else's, right? So I wasn't like being open-minded. And I got into kind of like a argument with this lady and also this guy, and it was just not good. It was just, I was more irritated than anything. So what I learned is, don't argue with people about your spirituality or your beliefs, because essentially you can't transform people's mind or make them conform to your beliefs or whatever. So you just have to agree to disagree, respect what they believe and keep it moving. But you want to find a place to meditate on your spirituality. So for me, that means, I live by myself anyway, so I can be anywhere in my apartment and, focus on my spirituality. But sometimes I've heard people say being in a car or being in the shower or in the prayer closet. So whatever works out for you, but the key is just finding a quiet place where you're not distracted and you're just focusing on, your spirituality. You can also learn about organizations and groups in your community. I feel like now it's just so many resources and a lot of ways to just learn, about different, religious organizations or whatever, I don't know what y'all practice, but anyway, it's just so many different resources out here where you can learn more about whatever it is that you're interested in. So yeah, that's our spiritual wellness. Social wellness. So this involves healthy relationships with your friends and family and the community. I'm sure y'all have heard me talk about, you know, the importance of having healthy relationships and staying away from toxic relationships. So the key word is have healthy relationships, okay? I just don't, y'all know I'm really big on like that toxic energy. I don't fool with that. I do not fool with that. But you want to have an interest in and concern for the needs of others and humankind. So that's kind of like what I was saying earlier, that, you know, this life that we live is so much more than just us, you know, and there's so many different ways that we can help people. It don't necessarily have to be financially, you know, you can just easily give somebody advice or be a listening ear. It don't have to be anything like major. So the key is just you showing somebody that, hey, I care, or I'm here for you. You want to keep in touch, or excuse me, so I have some questions for y'all. So these are just questions for y'all to kind of, you know, think about, just to kind of get your wheels turning. Are you keeping in touch with your friends and family? Are you getting out and meeting people with your same interests? Now me, I am a strong introvert. I don't know if I shared that before, but I am a strong introvert. I'm trying to work on being more outgoing. You know, it's definitely a process, but I think it is good to connect with people, because if you kind of stay stuck in your own bubble, that can, I feel like, you know, that can play with your mind. So being able to connect with other people outside of you is definitely worth looking into. And if you stay in like a small community like I do, sometimes it's not much to do, you know, to connect with other people. But for those of y'all who stay in like the metropolitan area, I'm sure it's like a ton of, you know, social events that you can go to. So it's always ways for, or it's so much easier for y'all to meet people. I know everybody like to, not everybody, but most of us on social media, you know, connecting like that, which that's fine, you know, if that's your cup of tea, because you're still being social and meeting people. Here are some tips. You can FaceTime your family and friends, especially if you have relatives that stay, you know, outside of your state or out of town. You're still connecting with them virtually. You can join online groups. So they have virtual workout groups. They have like cooking groups. I mean, just a ton of groups on Facebook, which I'm not really on Facebook these days. But you can set up a date to meet with your friends and family, like cookouts or going to the movies, road trips. So it's all in the summertime is coming up. What? So it'll be definitely time for a good vacation, right? So yeah, just begin to I'm sorry if this thing crooked, y'all. But yeah, just begin to, you know, set up some times, you know, where you can take a small vacation or a road trip, because like it's the summertime. It's fixing to be the summertime, so. And you want to always plan ahead too. Okay, so next is our emotional wellness. This involves the ability to express feelings. And before I say feelings, I need to say thoughts. So the ability to, you know, express your thoughts and feelings, because our thoughts and feelings go hand in hand. Our feelings are directly related, you know, from our thoughts. And that's why we make certain decisions. So anyway, but yeah, so just being able to adjust to emotional challenges and cope with life stressors and enjoy life. So knowing your strengths as well as your weaknesses, that's really important. I kind of talked about that in my self-awareness video. So it's always good. And if you say, you know what, I hear a lot of people say, I don't know what my strengths are. That's okay. But the key is, you know, you can begin to learn. And you may say, how do I begin to learn, what my strengths are? Well, go to Google, type in strengths, and you can begin to identify, you know, just on reading. Sometimes they have like a list of words, you know, like leadership or smart, courageous, adventurous, you know. So just begin to you can do it like that. Type in, go to Google and type in strengths, and you'll be able to, hopefully that'll get your wheels turning. So I do have some questions for y'all to kind of think about. Do you see challenges as growth? Do you see challenges as opportunities for growth? Or do you just kind of sit back and complain and like, Lord, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Why I gotta go through this? Or is your mindset like, you know what? Yeah, I took an L, but I gotta bounce back and do better. You see what I'm saying? So it's a difference. It just depends on, you know, your mindset. Do you write down your thoughts in a journal? Lord, I should have brought my journal. But, yeah, I think oh, here it is, y'all. My cousin, I hope she don't mind me sharing, but this is a journal that I use, and it's called Vibrate Higher, and it is a guided prompt journal to help you develop a self-care routine, build mindfulness, and help you find a sense of peace and balance as you navigate through life while attending to your mental health and setting your daily intentions. And y'all can find this on Amazon. It's called Vibrate Higher. So that's what it looks like. But of course, it's a ton of different journals out here. But this is like by far my favorite. I don't know if it's because my cousin wrote it, but it's just, you know, I was able to you're able to write a self-affirmation, and that's really important, you know, being able to write like a self-affirmation, because for example, I'll just give y'all an example. I think a self-affirmation I wrote the other day was what was it? Hold on, I'm gonna have to look now because I forgot. What did I say? An example I had was, oh, I am bigger than my mistakes, right? So however I feel like whenever you put that affirmation, you speak it into the atmosphere, then you're kind of setting the tone for how your day is gonna go. So one thing this journal also did was allow me to identify, you know, my areas of weaknesses and ways I celebrated myself. It allowed me to write down my thoughts, of course. So anyway, it was just like work, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, once I got finished, like I felt so much better, especially if I was having like a bad day. But see, this is the thing about journaling. You don't have to just journal if you're having a bad day. It can be, you can have a good day and still journal. So I'm a huge stickler for journaling. Oh, oops.